John Locke was baptized on the same day of his birth on 29 August 1632 by the Church of Wrington at a small thatched cottage. He was the son of Puritans, John Locke Snr and Agnes Keene. His father was an attorney who also served as a clerk to the Justice of Peace in Chew Magna. Locke attended the prestigious Westminster School of London in 1647 with the sponsorship of a member of the Parliament, Alexander Popham. From there, he attended the Christ Church, Oxford in 1652. Although Locke was a brilliant student, he had no interest in undergraduate studies at the time and preferred the works of Descartes and other modern philosophers. In 1656, Locke graduated with a bachelor's degree and obtained his master's degree in 1658. His desire for the medical field saw him obtain a bachelor in medicine in 1675. He then spent the next few years working with several notable thinkers and societies such as Lowell, Robert Hooke, Thomas Wales and Robert Boyle. However, in 1666, Lord Ashley Cooper, who was ill from a liver infection, came to Oxford seeking treatment. Ashley was treated by Locke, who left an impression on Ashley that he persuaded Locke to become a part of his retinue. Locke, who had been searching for a job, moved to Ashley's home in Exeter, London and served as his personal physician. At this time, Ashley's liver infection worsened and became life-threatening. Locke sought several physicians' advice and urged Ashley to undergo surgery, which at the time was also life-threatening. The cysts were removed and Ashley recovered, crediting Locke with saving him from death. Locke also served as secretary to the Board of Trade and Plantations at the time and also was a secretary to the Lords Proprietors of Carolina. He was greatly influenced by his ideas on international and economic trade. Locke spent most of his 1675 traveling through France as a medical attendant and as a tutor. After 2 years, he returned to England and composed the two treaties of government in 1679. After being suspected of being a part of the Rye House plot in 1683, Locke fled to Netherlands. There he continued writing and spent quality time reworking the essays and composed the letter on toleration. However, in 1688, he accompanied Mary II on her return to England. Upon his return from exile, Locke had his essay concerning human understanding and two treaties of government and a letter concerning toleration all published to quick successions. He was then invited to the Otis at Lady Marsham's country house in Essex as a close friend, but he became ill with asthma attack during his stay there. Nonetheless, Locke was treated as a hero of the wings and discussed matters of importance with the likes of Isaac Newton and John Dryden. On October 28, 1704, Locke died and was buried in the churchyard of High Laver, east of Harlow in Essex. Locke was never married and never had any children. Michael Zuckert argued that Locke began liberalism by separating the realms of the church and state. He was also said to have exercised a profound interest on political philosophy focusing on modern liberalism. Voltaire called Locke Le Sage Locke, owing to the strong influence Locke had on him. Locke also redefined the subject of modern Western conception of self and influence, said to be more in the first of epistemology. Concerning the theory of modern psychology, however, Locke influenced the subject via his theory of association. He recognized two types of ideas as simple and complex, where their interactions inspired the likes of David Hume and George Berkeley to expand Locke's theory on how to affect humans' gaining of knowledge. Locke used the simple concept of property to cover the broad range of human interest and their aspirations. He also stated that property was a right that is naturally deprived from labor. He went further to argue that the individual ownership of property and goods is gotten by the labor given to produce such goods. In his second treatise, Locke argued that nature provided little value by itself to the society and developed a labor theory of property where ownership of property was acquired by the application of labor. He also stated that property came before the government and the government therefore cannot dispose of the estates of its citizens arbitrarily. In accordance with Locke's postulations, unused property is wasteful and is an offense against nature. But he said that where durable goods are introduced, men could then exchange their excess perishable goods for those that can last longer, and then hence avoiding offending the natural law. He saw the introduction of money as a process that made the unlimited accumulation of property possible, without recourse to waste and spoilage. He distinguished money as the countermeasure to value and as a pledge to take possession of goods. In Locke's belief, the usage of gold and silver was more appropriate as the currency for international transaction than the use of paper money. His argument was based on the fact that silver and gold is equal value by all humans, while paper money was only valid under each government that used it. In the issue of trade, Locke opined that a country must seek that which makes the balance of trade favorable for its country to prevent falling into a loss on its trade. He was also critical of the dream argument of Descartes and counter-argued that people cannot have physical pain in dreams when they are awake. Locke was often accused of Socinianism, Deism, and Arianism. He argued that Adam's posterity was doomed to eternal and infinite punishment for the transgressions that were Adam's. Locke was careful with his postulations regarding the Bible. He supported the verbal inspiration of the scriptures, alluding that the miracles were proof that the biblical messages was of a divine nature. He was of the conviction that the contents of the Bible agreed to human reasoning. Locke, however, advocated for tolerance, yet he urged authorities to harbor atheism because, in his opinion, denying the existence of God also leads to undermining the social order, which would eventually lead to chaos. He derived his philosophy of life from the Bible, which includes the equality of sexes. To him, humans were created equally free. Therefore, government needed to obtain the consent of the governed. His postulation on this matter formed the basis for which the American Declaration of Independence was bounded, together with a partial belief that human rights are based on biblical belief in creation. Locke was a renowned physician and a notable English philosopher who influenced the mind of thinkers. He was commonly referred to as the father of liberalism. He was also one of Britain's first empiricists and was important to the theory of social conduct. His work influenced Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Voltaire, and several other Scottish enlightened thinkers and the revolutionaries of America. Thank you very much for watching our videos. We'll appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends. We love you.